Hello, y'all. How y'all doing today? Hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And so today we're going to be doing another discussion. And this discussion came from a commenter. I'm going to put the comment on the screen right now. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate every single one of y'all that come out and comment on my videos, especially these discussions. They come straight from my heart and straight from the Lord. And, this is like mission work or whatever. And so I really appreciate that you guys appreciate it and that you all want to join the conversation, because again, that's what the whole point really is, just to talk more and to communicate more about how we feel about things, so that we're not just shunning people. And so this discussion is specifically about how I feel about people consuming art from people who have said or done something problematic in the past. And I think it's a great discussion. I think it goes right along with the other two that I've done so far. And I'm so excited to talk about this today. And so let's go. Without further ado, we're going to start talking about this. And I think that first thing right off the bat, I think that just disclaiming that it is something that it's always evolving, because it's something that you have to really look at yourself for. You really have to stop and think, what would I do? Because I will mention my own experience. I'll go for my own experiences first. There was someone who was being canceled who had said some really mean stuff, or some, not even like mean stuff, some really some opinionated stuff, and the opinion was not in favor of a group of people. And I'm a part of that group of people, and so I was like offended, a little sad, a little head scratch, because I don't know where you came from with that. I don't know where this person came from with that opinion. But on the other hand, I had never supported this person. I had never consumed anything that they had ever done, and so it didn't matter as much to me. I was like, that's messed up that you had that opinion, I guess, but do your thing. And I actually went and read what was to be read about that. I really actually did research on this person's opinion, because I wanted to know what it was that made them feel this way. And again, it's not even like I came away feeling like, oh yeah, you're right, or you're wrong. It was more just like, this is what you feel and what you think, and I'm probably not going to change your opinion, and I'm not even going to try, because it's just like, bro, like, you feel that way. As long as your opinion is not stopping you from loving another person, I think that everyone's opinion is valid. And so it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, I'm laying it to rest. I don't follow this person. Now I get to block them because I don't want to hear anything else. Because I don't want, again, if I'm offended, I don't have to go tell the world that. I can just be offended by myself. And so I think that educating yourself is important when it comes to people that say things that can be offensive or detrimental, potentially. People that have opinions that offend a lot of people. If they offend you, I think it's an opportunity for you to educate yourself on why they feel this way, instead of immediately jumping down their throat. Because just like you have a reason for being offended by this, they have a reason for saying this thing that offended you. And so I think that is, again, it really just helps everybody involved and helps us all to feel more empathy and to act with more empathy when we seek out understanding and when we pursue peace always. Because it's so easy to just jump down somebody's throat and just insult them and act like they're literally like a demon for like feeling like this. But they're not a demon. They're a person with feelings and a life and experiences that have all led to them feeling like this. And just like your offense is valid, their opinion is valid also. And so I think that we should just look more into our own eyes. But anyway, to finish off this story and really get into the discussion, I then went off of, I was like, I muted the name, and I was like, I don't want to hear anything else about this, because I don't want to hear the person's opinion, because I am offended, and I don't feel the same. So if I don't feel the same about this, I don't need to look at it. But I also didn't want to hear all the people who didn't agree also, who were on my side technically, but who were sending, death threats and saying that this person is horrible and that they deserve to just be canceled forever and not have a career anymore and to just drop off the face of the earth. It's just like, it's so unnecessary, and it's just like, no, they don't deserve that. Like, people do really bad stuff all the time. We're talking about an opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't think people should be excommunicated for anything, really. But, especially if we're talking about an opinion, we're not even talking about an action here. We're talking about somebody feeling a certain way about something, and a lot of other people being like, oh yes, I also agree, or I'm also offended. It doesn't then give us the right to then decide whether or not they deserve to live or die. That is not cool, at all. So like, that's definitely not cool. But again, I'm talking about consuming the art. And so I went off of this app that I was seeing all this stuff on, and then I went to a different app, and I saw an editor that I follow, and they were editing something that this person had created. And not only were they editing it because people edit whatever they want, but I gave me pause because I went to the post and there was a long explanation of why they supported this person in their statements. And so I was like, why do you do that? And so I read the statement and I commented back and I commented back and commented back. And it was one of those like agree to disagree situations where it's just like, you have your reasons for feeling like this and I have my reasons for feeling like this, but I'm not fighting you, you're not fighting me, we just don't feel the same, and so I'm just gonna unfollow you and just keep going. And so that's what I did. All of this is very peaceful. This was all a very peaceful interaction. I was not sending any bad stuff to them. They weren't sending any bad stuff to me. I was just trying to find out why they felt that way. And after I gained more understanding, because I'm always after more understanding and communication, I decided what would be best for me, which is not seeing the media on the timeline, which means that I unfollow them. And no hard feelings, it's just one of those things. Because we are allowed to disagree with each other without it being a fight or somebody getting canceled or called a name, or, you know, we can be mature adults out here, okay? There are too many adults and older people on the internet for us to be having this many, like, petty playground fights. We need to be more mature. And so that is one thing. And how this ties into the big discussion is the fact that I did not consume this art. I did not consume any of this person's art, and so it was nothing for me to just unfollow them and throw them, you know, just be like, oh, just out of sight, out of mind. And then to go on this other app and not only see the media that, like, obviously see this person, you know, supporting this media that they had created, but also then supporting the person's opinion. And again, the comment that I got this from was that vibe of like, is it okay to support this person's work because their opinion is the certain way? Because what if their opinion influenced the work and all of that? And it's one of those things where, again, we do not know anybody. We don't know why people do stuff, and unless they tell us, we really don't know. And so, if you want to consume somebody's art, that is between you and the Lord. Like, that is something that you want to do. Like, it's not something that anybody else has the right to tell you you can't do. And that's one thing I do see on the internet a lot, is people telling people that they cannot support something because they're offended. Like, say I'm offended by something, and then I see somebody supporting that thing or that person, and it's like, oh my gosh, you suck. Why are you doing that? What? Like, that's somebody's choice. And again, we're talking about the art specifically here. This person that I had found that unfollowed, I unfollowed them because they supported this person's actions, this person's thoughts, because they supported this person's opinions actively, and the media, not just the media. And so it leads me again back to what the person in the comment asked about whether or not it's cool to support the person's art and just forget about their opinions. And it reminds me of the other discussion in the sense where it's like, again, first off, it's your choice. No one else decides to make that choice for you. And if they see you supporting this person and they did something wrong, or not even this person, but something that they created, and they're attacking you, block them or try to pursue peace and figure out what's going on, but do not subject yourself to being disrespected because you support somebody's art. Like, that is your choice. That is not between anybody else. That is not anybody else's choice but yours. But I bring it back to, if you had a favorite movie, like a favorite movie ever, and then the director came out with a statement that was very offensive to a group of people, whether you were in the group or not. And then everybody's like, oh my god, this person's canceled. But you love this movie. You talk about this movie all the time. You are somebody in this movie for Halloween. You read the, you know what I'm saying, you know, whatever it is. Like, you just love this movie so much. You stand this movie. Excuse me. But then the director comes out with something there. It's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, and then the whole world's like, oh my god, this person sucks. I'm offended by this. It is between you and that creation and your relationship with that creation, whether that determines whether or not you are going to support that thing. It's a very personal thing. Like, no one is entitled to nobody like has the authority to come out and be like, no, we should not be consuming art by people who have said problematic things because blah blah blah. There's no reason why, because we have no control over that. For some people, it would be easier to just act like, you know, whatever the person said didn't matter and then consume the art. For some people, they wouldn't be able to separate it and they would have to stop standing that thing, which would be very sad for them. We forget how important art is to people. And I think that when we're talking about art and people, it can be very gray area-ish because it's fictional plus what this person said in real life. But because this is a creation that they have done, it is an extension of them. But this extension is what really means something to the person. Usually it's not the actual person that we're talking about here. We're talking about an actual creation that they have made that people enjoy. And I don't think it's fair to be like, we just should not support this creation anymore. It does hurt me, I'm gonna be honest, to see people supporting creations by people who have said things that are mean or that are offensive to groups of people. It does. But it also is a reminder that I'm not the only person on the earth, and that my opinions are not everybody else's. Which means that just like I can block, delete, repeat, and just go on with my life, other people can decide to continue to support this art because it meant something to them, for whatever reason. And it reminds me again of my own art, because if somebody that was in a part of my favorite show or my favorite movie or my favorite books, and they did something that was problematic, first off, if I know this person from the standpoint of their art has substance to me, I have seen them exhibit character on the internet, I'm going to assume the best about them, just like I would want somebody to assume the best about me, instead of just immediately jump on the wagon of a rumor, or even an opinion that offended a lot of people. I think we forget how valid other people's opinions are too. Especially when it's big groups. It's like the entire group just gets it in their heads, or in our heads, that, oh my gosh, what we say goes, and that's the only thing that matters. But everybody else that's in these other groups and stuff, they all matter too. And so again, it goes back to what I've been saying in these last two videos. Pursue peace, always, okay? If this person saying this offensive thing is causing you to get really upset, get off the internet, think about what you're thinking, think about what you're feeling, acknowledge that, write it down, but do not then attack the person, or attack people who support the person, and all of that. It's not cool. And it's the same thing with, if you support what this person said that was problematic, don't then jump on people who don't support it and think it's offensive. Just pursue peace, and I think that we'll all be better, because again, people can feel pressured to not support something, or to support something, when the whole world is going one way or the other. People can be very pressured to cancel somebody and to stop supporting what they're doing or what they have done when they say something that's horrible, or when it comes out that they support something that's not good. But peer pressure isn't cool. Like, your choice still matters. So try not to be pressured by the world, okay? The world usually is going to be one way or the other, because people like to support and be part of a group. But we're talking about an individual here, and I think that our individual choice on whether or not we want to support something is something that is our choice, and deserves to stay our choice. And you deserve full respect for that, because that's your choice. Just like it's somebody else's choice to throw everything that they ever owned by this person out of the house, you know? And so, I love y'all. I hope y'all found something good from this video. I hope you understood everything I was saying. I hope you continue to pursue peace no matter what's going on in your life. Thank you for constantly, giving me topics to talk about, and for listening to my words. I love you all. God loves y'all too. And I will see y'all later with another video. Peace out.